Hi, I'm Pablo Roll, and welcome to Global Skimo YouTube channel. As you know, on this channel, we talk about mountain skiing, and today we come to discuss the topic of pole height.
What size fits us best to perform the technique properly? As I mentioned in the video I left up here about poling technique.
So I'm gonna share how my experience has been, how I've been changing sizes over the years and getting better technique. And well, finally I tell you how to choose the height perfectly. What number to multiply your height to know the size enough. So stay until the end of the video. Let's start. When I started competitive ski mountaineering, I was told about the height the pole should be, and that when I grab the pole, it should fall more or less at the armpit height, so I could to put the cane here as if it were a crotch and go right in there. So I am 1.70 meters tall, and for me this height was 1.30 meters. And well, that's it. I took poles, cut them to this height, and I've been using this pole all season. I still didn't have good poling technique, so I was gradually improving it, and it was a stick that allowed me that without having very good technique, it wouldn't hinder me and would allow me to climb. What happened? Well, I improved my technique over time, and I went to buy a new pole, a bit lighter, and this pole, when it came to cutting it, I decided I'll leave it a bit longer. And I said, well, 1.32 and a half, a height to have two poles of different sizes and thus have a bit more versatility. What happened? I went to test these poles in the snow and didn't notice. I didn't feel the difference. It was perfect. I moved it just as well. Keep improving my technique, and at the end of this season I went to buy another new stick. It was this pair. What happened? The store had it at 1.35.
And I said I'm not gonna cut it just for an inch. I said I'll try it in the snow.
What happened? Well, the same. I went to the snow, and the pole technique I had was pretty good, and I moved the pole well. I could stretch it out in front, I could let go of my hand behind. So I decided to pole with this 1.35 size. Then I had other poles which I also cut to the same size, and well, now it's the size I use for training and pretty much all competitions. So we can say that currently 1.35 is my correct size, and see more or less where it reaches me. A bit further up, between the shoulder and the chair height. What happens? This year I have another stick, in this case 1.40 meter, which you see comes up almost to my shoulder. And this pole I've also tried on snow and move it quite well too. It allows me to fully leverage it easily. I nail it a bit further back maybe, but it allows me. Even so, I've raced with it, and races like the Sella Ronda, which was on track and had many flat gliding sections. Well, it's the extra that gives me 2 inches more traction. Then it's an advantage it has. So what do I want to tell you with all this? You came here to know your stick height and found out that I use from 130 to 140.
What I want to tell you with this is don't focus too much in what will be my perfect height. What centimeters exactly?
Simply start with a slightly shorter pole, as I mentioned. That comes up to about here, and as you improve your technique, you can move on to slightly longer poles. And basically that's it. Find a size that you're comfortable with, that you can move the pole well. And what's very important, as I already mentioned in the video about pole techniques, it's that the pole allows you to stretch your hand out and plant it firmly ahead, as well as letting you pull and release, allowing you to free your hand well behind. As long as the stick allows us to do that well, that's a good height for you all. Now, mathematician, to calculate your height, if you multiply your height by 0.77, giving your height to the pole would be equivalent then to a pole for when you don't have as much technique. When we're talking?
Not about this stick. When I multiply my height by 0.77, I get this. a stick 1.30 meters long.
And when you have a better level, good technique and all, and you want to move to a slightly longer stick,
well, a good reference is to multiply your height by 0.8.
that would cost you. For me, it comes to 1.36. That's more or less the reference.
And well, this I've discussed with rigid poles, as you're seeing here.
If there are people who also use telescopic poles, then for these people watching me who use this type of poles, at this height, you set it up for climbing logically, and then you can cut it on that ascents. It's kind of the advantage you have with that kind of base.
Anyway, I'm going to make a video too, talking about that, the pros and cons of using telescopic poles versus rigid ones like these. And that's the end of today's video. I hope it has helped you choose the right pole height for you. Leave me a like if these videos help you.
And well, for comments, any questions you have, just ask, and I'll reply quickly and happily. Subscribe if you haven't already and you like ski mountaineering. And don't forget, hit the bell so you don't miss any videos. See you soon with another video. Bye.